Hello everyone, I'm Sacha Malik from Opencv.org and I'm really excited to announce Opencv AI Challenge sponsored by Intel and Microsoft. In this challenge, 50 teams will compete to create a manufacturing solution. It is difficult to create a factory in just 3 months, so we thought we'd add a twist to this competition. The solution you will build will be built using Lego pieces, but it will run professional grade software. Each team will get a box of goodies. Inside this box will be an Opencv AI kit with OD Lite. In addition, you will get Azure credits to train neural networks. And this box will also have a bunch of other surprises. Now let me explain you the process of entering the competition. The competition consists of 2 phases. So the submission will be evaluated based on the quality of the problem you have chosen, the proposed solution, and the strength of your team. Phase 1 submissions will open on November 2nd, 2021, and the deadline for this submission is November 16th, 2021. 50 teams from all the submissions will be selected to move on to phase 2. The second piece is a PDF where you explain the problem and the solution in great detail. And the final piece is optional. If you want to share code and blueprints so that other people from the community can contribute to your project as an open source project, we would love that. Now let me tell you about the prizes. The top 3 teams in this competition will get a chance to showcase their solution in Microsoft Build. What an honor. In addition, there will be other surprises. Now that was all about the competition. Let me introduce you to Brandon Gillis, who is the Chief Architect of OD Lite and the CEO of Luxonis. He will tell you all about this amazing device.
So to talk about OD Lite, first we need to talk about human-like perception. And what is human perception? So we have these amazing gifts of having 2 eyes that give us depth perception. We have intelligence to know what things are. And with the fusion of depth perception and that intelligence, we can do all sorts of things, from skiing to interacting with the world to making sure devices look right or being manufactured correctly. But being humans, we're also flawed. We can only pay attention for so long. We can't quantize. We're easily distracted. And boring, repetitive tasks are just awful. So we're living in an unprecedented era where you can now pack the equivalent of human-like perception into something that's tiny and has all those advantages of a computer, where it can quantize, it can pay attention practically forever, and you have this human-like perception, so you get all those advantages, but then you keep the advantages of computers. So with that, I'd like to introduce OD Lite. What this allows is basic human-like perception in a tiny device. So it's very little, it's lightweight, it's low power, and it can be embedded into anything. And to jump into the specifics of the device, it's an electrical equivalent of our biological vision. So it has 2 global shutter grayscale cameras, which are equivalent to the rods that are in our eyes that give you feature tracking, give you motion estimation, give you night vision, and give you really good, like, high frame rate, if you will, response. And then it has one 13 megapixel color camera, which then gives the high resolution color that we're used to, which is very useful in all sorts of applications, and the reason we see color. And what this allows is solving problems where previously you wanted a human or you needed a human to perform the task, but you couldn't cram a human into something this size. So it unlocks solving all sorts of problems that you just couldn't solve before. It's not about replacing a person, it's about amplifying a person. So there's all sorts of quality assurance which just isn't done right now, or is solved by some other mechanism, some feedback mechanism. And now that you can have this, you can refine your quality assurance, you can refine your design cycle, everything real time, and quantize it over time. All sorts of robotics applications Now that you can understand what things are and where they are in physical space, real time, it's like a cheat mode for building all sorts of robotic systems, whether those are robotic arms or rovers or food delivery systems. And then probably my favorite and the most impactful, I think, is in health and safety systems. So whether this is monitoring life signs or it's looking for personal protective gear, or it's just making sure your hands and limbs are safe from dangerous equipment, this now can act as your buddy, just like you'd have a person looking out for you, but this never gets distracted. And it can tell your full pose, it can tell what you're doing, it can tell the state of machines, and so it can act as an emergency stop, it can act as an alert or a reminder when you're about to do something that could put you, the machine, or other people in harm's way. We're about to witness the invention of the modern equivalent of the steam engine, and being able to embed human-like perception into a tiny thing is a super important tool. A tool among a confluence of other technologies that are available now to foster innovation in the span of 3 months. It's more capability and more impactful to the world than maybe the first 100 years after the Industrial Revolution. So we're excited for you to compete in this and to see what you can build and see what comes from it.
I couldn't agree more. This competition will spark a revolution in spatial AI. Check the link included with this video to learn more. Please tell your friends and colleagues about it, form a team, join the revolution.